211 of these contests. The All-Stars will strut their stuff in a beautiful new building in St. John's. We have miles to go before we sleep, and it all begins tonight at Mile 1.
To understand where one is going, it's important to appreciate where one has been. And for 66 years, the American Hockey League has provided a cornerstone for this great game. And from cornerstones emerge stepping stones that have provided the foundation for future success here and beyond, raising the bar alongside that of the Calder Cup. From a bygone era of black and white, a history of stars that have continually shone bright, career beginnings that initially nourished and as NHL legends eventually flourished, those beginnings began here. Tonight, their legacy lives on as memories give way to these modern men. From a new generation, a game thrives on rejuvenation and a tribute to those who've risen above hockey trials to experience its triumphs. It's back-to-back nights of tremendous talent on tap as Planet USA takes on Canada. Round 1 tonight, the skills showcase. Tomorrow night, the All-Star Game. From Mile 1 Stadium in St. John's, Newfoundland, Asante Management and Baker Hughes presents the American Hockey League's 7th annual Skills Classic.
Newfoundland, it's a magical place with remarkable people. They gained worldwide acclaim for harboring stranded travelers in the 9/11 crisis, and the Hollywood Motion Picture The Shipping News shed further light on a very special place on the Canadian landscape. Now the eyes of the hockey world are fixed on St. John's as the American Hockey League All-Star Celebration comes to the East Coast. Another shot inside of Mile 1. They open this building with a game between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens, and now the American Hockey League All-Stars are here. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Toth. Great to welcome our audience from across Canada and around the United States. Just a quick story about the great people here in St. John's. I went down to the hotel, the front desk of the hotel we're staying at, and I said, what about a tour bus? I'd like to take a look around. And they said, bye. You won't be taking any tour bus today. What time do you want to go? I got a car. We'll pick you up at 2 o'clock. So I got to thank Carla for just a remarkable tour of a great city. Very special people and a very special place to have the American Hockey League All-Star Game. They've had a team, the St. John's Maple Leafs, in this community for 11 years now, and they're well aware of the tradition of the AHL. 66 years, and I've sent over 100 gentlemen to the Hockey Hall of Fame. But you know who's going to get the biggest cheer tonight? It's the hometown hero, John Slaney. That's right, he's a St. John's, Newfoundland boy, and he scored the goal heard round Canada back in 1991, the goal that defeated the Russians at the World Junior Championship. John went on to play over 200 games in the National Hockey League, and he's a stalwart in the American Hockey League. He's been to 3 consecutive All-Star games in this league. In fact, he was the MVP of the game last year with 3 points. He's got the Philadelphia Phantoms crest on his jersey, but he's a St. John's boy. The following is a presentation of Molson Sports and Entertainment. On the eve of the Olympic hockey tournament in Salt Lake City, the American Hockey League gets set to present some international flavor of its own tonight. The Planet USA All-Stars, featuring talent from both Europe and America, prepare to face the best Canadian content the AHL has to offer. Now, last night, Canada won the skills competition, and they were led by Jonathan Girard of the Bruins organization. Last night, he skated like Orr, and he shot the puck like Raymond Bourque. And the Canadians were also very solid in goal as the terrific tandem of Travis Scott and Neil Little combined to make 34 saves. In the meantime, hometown hero Nathan Dempsey thrilled the crowd by going 4 for 6 in target practice. And in a contest designed to bring out the kid in all the players, 15-year-old Jordan Windsor brought the house down by bringing down 4 targets and 7 shots. Tonight, the All-Stars get another shot. It's a brand new night in a brand new building. All-Star memories are made at Mile 1 Stadium.
To understand where one is going, it's important to appreciate where one has been. And for 66 years, the American Hockey League has been a cornerstone. And from cornerstones emerge stepping stones that have provided the foundation for future success, raising the bar alongside that of the Calder Cup. From a bygone era of black and white, a history of stars that have continually shone bright, career beginnings that initially nourished and as NHL legends eventually flourish. Tonight, their legacy lives on as memories give way to these modern men. From a new generation, a game thrives on rejuvenation and a tribute to those who've risen above hockey's trials to experience its triumphs. Tonight, the class of 2002 is honored as Planet USA takes on Canada. A showcase of talent both north, south, and beyond these borders to Europe as well. From Mile One Stadium in St. John's, Newfoundland, Asante and Baker Hughes presents the American Hockey League 7th Annual All-Star Classic.
Beautiful Newfoundland. It's the gateway to Canada. Breathtaking scenery, rugged coastline, but home to a soft and gentle people. Newfoundland gaining worldwide acclaim for the hospitality it showed to thousands of stranded travelers in the wake of September 11th. Tonight, the American Hockey League plays its annual All-Star Classic in the oldest city in North America, but it's a brand new building. They open it this fall. In April, it will play host to the Juno Awards, honoring the best in Canadian music. And tonight, we will pay homage to the best that the American Hockey League has to offer. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Toth. Just great to have you with us again here tonight. And the great American actor Kevin Spacey created quite a stir in this community when he was around filming his motion picture, The Shipping News. But with apologies to Mr. Spacey, the American Hockey League All-Stars are running the show now. There's no question you're at home and you're saying, well, Michael, we know the American Hockey League is great, but it's not the NHL. We might have to rethink that a little bit, because when you consider this, Brett Hall, John LeClaire, Patrick Elias, Martin Brodeur, some of the talent we'll be watching when the Olympic tournament begins in earnest tomorrow in Salt Lake City. All of those guys plied their trade right here in the American Hockey League. In fact, 70% of the NHL talent you watch on a nightly basis got started right here in the AHL. And tonight you are going to watch the best of the best. And you know, the All-Star format has changed over the years. Back in the 1940s, it was very simple. It was East versus West, and a rugged defenseman named Eddie Shore played in that contest. In the 50s, it changed. The league champions against the best that the American Hockey League had to offer, and that meant people like Johnny Bower and Guff Worsley played that game, and yes, Yamamoto Don Cherry. And then in the 90s, they moved to the format we enjoy now, Canada versus the best of the rest. And since that format was introduced, the Canadians have won 3 of the last 4 games. So Paul Hendrick, plenty of pride at stake in this game tonight.
You are so very right, Mike Toth. Plenty of pride, especially for Team USA. The Planet USA squad have lost 2 consecutive AHL Classic games to their Canadian counterparts, and intent on snapping that streak of so-called futility tonight is their starting goaltender, and Rick DiPietro, the 21-year-old wonder from Winthrop, Massachusetts, who has won 16 games for Bridgeport so far, including 2 shutouts and a goals against average of 2.54. He's the only goaltender ever to be selected first overall in the National Hockey League draft, as the Islanders made him 2 years ago out of Boston University. The head coach of Planet USA is Bruce Cassidy, and these All-Star games have a habit of being baptisms under fire for young goaltenders, but I think your young charge is very capable of meeting that challenge here tonight.
Well, I know last year in the IHL All-Star game, he shut us out, for crying out loud, so he's certainly capable. I think Rick's the type of guy that likes the spotlight, so, but it's tough. You know, you prepare a certain way for 80 games all year. This is a little bit more pomp and circumstance, obviously, but I think Rick can handle it, and he'll do very well, as our other 2 goaltenders will.
Thanks for this. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
Bruce Cassidy, and while Rick DiPietro gets the start in one net, veteran Jim Playfair, head coach of the Canadian Stars, my broadcast colleagues Joe Bone and Jim Ralph. Let's send it up to them right now.
Thank you very much, Paul. Well, building the Mile One Stadium is going to be rocking tonight, and a lot of that will be because of a couple of Maple Leafs, St. John's Maple Leafs. They are Nathan Dempsey and Donald McLean.
Well, Don McLean has had an outstanding season to this point, currently tied for 3rd in the American Hockey League in scoring. Nathan Dempsey, how is this for being a hometown boy now? His 8th season with the St. John's Maple Leafs. He may not be a native son, but he's certainly an adopted son here in St. John's.
Speaking of native sons, John Slaney is back in his hometown, and everyone remembers the goal in '91 when he won the World Championship for the World Juniors.
Well,
the AHL and the St. John's Maple Leafs would like to thank the City of St. John's and hockey fans throughout Canada for their support of the AHL and the 2002.
Well, a great show put on, and if you're a goaltender, it was a busy night, but if you like goals, you saw a lot of them. We saw some great creative play.
we did. One of 5 30-year-olds in the lineup. Mike Craig is the MVP of the evening. 3 goals, 2 assists. Had a great night. And Jeff Farkas finishes it off in front of the hometown crowd with his hat-trick of the evening as well.
And the 6 goaltenders we saw, even though this many goals were scored, they were terrific.
Yeah, and they may not ever want to play again after having to go through this. But, you know what, it's incredible. Like we said, Michael Layton makes a huge save when it's 10-10. And there's not often you're able to say that where a goaltender makes a save in a game that has to score in double digits. and it helps your team to victory.
We've had a wonderful time in St. John's, Newfoundland. We hope you've enjoyed the 2002 American Hockey League All